Hi everybody, my name is Moses Sharis and welcome to my channel, where I will discuss history and international relations. Today I want to talk to you about some of my thoughts after I read Patrick Seale's biography of Assad. While itself an interesting biography of a man who undoubtedly shaped the Middle East, what caused me to make this video is him talking about the Arab order being about an ever-evolving set of rivalries, where one country rises, others unite against it, as an old rival falls. The alliances that shaped to block it dissipate and are replaced by a new kaleidoscope of enmity. Now, this is not much different from Europe before the end of World War II, with one key difference. Since the collapse of the idea of a unified Roman Empire, European powers could no longer threaten to fully take over one another. So we're talking about 9th, 10th century, really. A winning power will impose a damaging treaty, grab some overseas or continental territory, but fundamentally Paris will keep its independence from Berlin, etc. The same can be said of the Middle East, where a series of empires ruled the area and were then replaced by proto-nation states under European tutelage. While each country's elite wants to maintain its power, and hence any long-term pan aspirations have so far been foiled, they are nevertheless an option that is incredibly threatening to any ruling elite. That is the first reason for the never-ending balancing act that is the Middle East. The second is that there is no reason for the powers in the Middle East to not see the struggle between them as a zero-sum game. Only a common market and an outside danger, as well as a common idea that does not threaten state sovereignty, the ingredients we have in Europe alone so far, could create a non-zero-sum game approach in the long term. And while Europe is unique in its interstate union project, the Middle East is unique in just how weak the conditions for a cooperative regional order are. Weaker state legitimacy, fragile national identities, and strong pan-regional ambitions. This is not a video to go into why that is the case, but in 3 words, it's geography's fault. And for a brief moment, globalization, a unipolar world, encouraged a more cooperative, non-zero-sum mindset. But that moment is over. So while Europe is unique in how it built a stable peace through economic integration, the Middle East is unique in how fragile the very idea of the nation state still is. So as we have seen and will keep seeing, as one power rises, force unite against it. And as it falls, another force rises, and instead the alliances are shuffled to unite against that new force. The most recent iteration is the weakening of Iran, causing a split between the UAE and the Saudis to widen. As the Islamic Republic and its attempts at pan-Islamism might now fall, they will be replaced by pan-Islamic Turkish efforts and a struggle between the Saudis and Pakistan and the Emiratis, Israel and India. Now, to be fair, I'm writing this on the 25th of March 2026. The balance of power in the Middle East is still being written and decided upon, and the balance of power will decide the alliance structure for the next round of the kaleidoscope ride of the politics in the Middle East. And here's where my idea comes in. Israel, as a non-Islamic and non-Arabic power, is incredibly well positioned in order to play the judge of a truly stable Middle East power. Israel, with its combination of military power and an ability to threaten the state integrity of its neighbors, as it lacks the ability to utilize a pan-Arabic or pan-Islamic angle, is uniquely positioned to secure peace and stabilize the region in case of discord. For that, it will need to limit the Palestinian question as a political thorn, and once it does, it could form the heart of a new Arab League, with disputes between Arab and Muslim states in the region being henceforth solved in Jerusalem. For that, it will need to stop allying itself with the weakest/peripheral force, as it has done until now. Turkey before Erdogan, Iran before the revolution, pro-Western states such as Jordan, and now the UAE. Instead position itself as a tiebreaker, judge, and enforcer of regional peace and stability. It needs to be mentioned that in general, the forces in the Middle East that align themselves with the West then become likely allies for Israel themselves. Do that, right? Align with Israel and the West due to weakness, not strength. And hence, that pattern of us aligning with the peripheral forces is also a matter of their weakness. It's impossible to tell if that truly is the direction in which we're going. One of the things that we'll need to change for that to happen is both Israel being more willing to use diplomacy instead of military might, and as mentioned earlier, the solution to the Palestinian question, and the understanding with the populace of the Middle East that the Zionist state project is not just here to stay, but is truly an integral part of the Middle East. For a stable Middle East, Israel cannot remain a villa in the jungle, and for that to happen, both the inhabitants of the villa and the jungle need to change their perceptions of each other. That is for now. If you like the video, please feel free to like and subscribe. Have a good day.